U.S. Vice President JD Vance says the key objectives in Iran have been achieved. Vance's comments push back against criticism from hardliners within the president's own base, who have termed the proposed deal a surrender to Tehran. Speaking to Fox, Vance described the agreement as straightforward and outlined a three-point framework. Iran must never develop a nuclear weapon. It must guarantee free navigation through the Strait of Hormuz, and it must stop funding and supporting terrorism before receiving any economic benefits. Vance also dismissed criticism of reported economic incentives for Iran. According to a draft memorandum of understanding published by Al Arabiya and other outlets, Iran could receive at least $300 billion in investment for reconstruction and economic development. Defending the proposal, Vance said the U.S. benefits either way. He said, and I quote, "Either Iran gets nothing, or destroy its nuclear program and keep the Strait of Hormuz open, or Iran fundamentally transform itself." That's a big win too. Let us remind the viewers that shortly after the U.S. and Israel launched airstrikes on Iran on February 28th, President Trump had laid out a host of objectives. At that time, Trump said the goals included preventing Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon, degrading its missile and drone capabilities, and dismantling its so-called regional proxy network. Under the reported agreement, Iran would commit to never producing nuclear weapons. However, Tehran has long maintained that its nuclear program is purely peaceful and it has no intention of producing a weapon. Reports say the fate of Iran's enriched uranium stockpile and other nuclear issues will be addressed in a final agreement. Notably, the draft contains no explicit restrictions on Iran's ballistic missile or drone programs. While the U.S. military says Iranian missile and drone capabilities have been set back significantly, Tehran has continued to demonstrate its reach, including attacks launched against Israel and Gulf states on June 6th and 7th. Trump also said on March 2nd that Iran must stop arming and funding allied groups in Iraq, Lebanon, Gaza, and Yemen. However, the reported memorandum does not specifically mention those groups. Instead, it calls for an immediate and permanent end to the conflict across all fronts, including Lebanon. Lebanon remains a major sticking point. Israel has refused to halt its operations or fully withdraw from southern Lebanon. Lebanese state media reported fresh Israeli airstrikes in the south, where at least 5 people were reportedly killed since the deal was announced. Iran's military has warned of a strong response if attacks in southern Lebanon continue. The reported text of the agreement does not mention Israel by name. It refers only to Iran, the United States, and their respective allies. Vance has been saying the deal is more acceptable to allies in the Gulf, while responding to comments by former President Barack Obama.
And I'd ask the president, the former president, I'd say, Obama, why in the world, if it's the same thing, why is it that the Gulf Arabs hated your deal and they love our deal? They are the ones who are in the region. They know what it means to enrich the worst terrorist regime in the world. And they also know what it means to turn over a new leaf and to go to a different future. So I think President Obama, he should acknowledge that the people who are closest to this, they love the Trump deal. They hate the Obama deal. And that's maybe the biggest endorsement of this plan.